Hello everyone, welcome to lesson 21 of my PySimpleGUI lessons. In today's video, we're going to be creating radio elements. So first, let's import PySimpleGUI as SG. And then, let's make two lists for the radio elements. So there can be one that says very good, good, average, and bad. And then another list that's please rate the narration and please rate the explanation. And then we can make the layout. Let's worry about that later. Let's finish the other things first. Python learning, layout, while true, event values equals window.read, print event and values. If event equals none, and we break, and then close the window at the end. Okay, and then now let's do the layout. So in the layout, let's first let's please put the narration here. And then so it's list B, the 0th value, so it'd be this one. Since we count it as 0, 1, 2, 3, the first one would always be 0. So like this. And then after this, we make a new line, the comma, and then we make the radio element. So it goes I, group ID. We have to include the group ID for this to work. And then we use the for loop list A, and I would be here. So it would be very good, good, average, and bad. Every single radio element has to have a group ID, and no two group IDs can be the same. Okay, so let's run this first. Alright, so now we have a radio element, very good, good, average, bad. And then there's a line, please rate the narration. And then we can also make one for please rate the explanation. Okay, so this time, if we count from starting from 0, it'd be 0 and 1. So this would be called 1. And then we can make another radio element. This group ID has to be 2. And then for I in list A. Okay, so let's do this. And now there's two different radio elements now. Okay, another way to write this exact same thing is using plus instead of commas. So we can give this another layout name like layout 1, and then we can run this thing sg.t, and then 1 plus list b 0, just like we wrote in the last one, but this time instead of using commas to separate them, we use plus, and then this backslash signifies we're starting a new line in the code, but we don't want to start one. Oh wait, but we also want to start one in the window as well. But in order to start a new line, we need to have brackets like this to signify this whole thing is one line of code. And then we make the radio element, the group ID as 1, and then for I in list A, again we do the plus and the backslash thing, start a new line, and then the second one, plus list B 1, and then our I group ID, don't write 1 this time, write 2, and then for I in list A. Alright, let's just make sure this is right. I don't think we're supposed to have these. Okay. Okay, now let's run it. Let's change this to layout 1. Don't forget to do this, because if this is only layout, then it'll still be running this one. So layout 1, let's run it. Alright, so this shows the exact same thing. Very good, good, average, bad for this line. Very good, good, average, bad for this line. And then, as you can tell, all of the radio elements we've written so far are vertical. Let's make one horizontally. So let's name this one layout 2. And then sg.r, still using the same way, I group ID equals 1, and then for I in list A. Now, if we run this, this would still be horizontal like this. But if we want it vertical, we need to simply over here add another pair of square brackets like this. Okay, so now it'll be going up and down, and we can still click it like normal. Alright, and in order to mass produce this type of radio elements, we have another method. Let's call this one layout 3. Okay, this one is a little more complicated. So first, we have, we need to have 2 pairs of square brackets here, and then a table. Inside the table, we have a variable y plus 1. The numerical one, don't add quotation marks around the 1, that would make it a string. And then plus sg.r, and then x, which is another variable, and then group id equals 1, and then key equals x bracket y, so this would make it a tuple. And then for x in list A, for y in range 9. Okay, so if we run this, don't forget to change the layout to layout 3. If we run this, then wow, there is so much. But if you would notice, if you select one on 2 and you want to select one on 3, it would change. So in order for this to be able to select for each single line, we need to change the group ID to y. And then now we can select multiple. Okay, and the key is x, comma y, and we want to show this. So let's put a button at the end to showcase for event, since we have event values. Let's add another pair of square brackets here, and inside let's add sg.bracket, and then OK. So now at the bottom here we have an OK. Let's say we select this one right here. Theoretically, x is in list A, right? So list A would be very good, good, average, or bad. So x should be good, comma y. So this is on the second row. So it's on the second loop. And since y starts at 0 and goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 8, this should be good, comma 1. Let's test it out. Okay, so over here, let's look for good, comma 1. So the first row is 0, and then now we have the first row. So good, comma 1 would be true. All the other ones would be false. If we want to add another one, let's say bad, comma 8, because there should be 9 loops and the first one is 0, so the last one is 8. Bad, comma 8, let's look at that one. So bad, comma 8 would be true. Alright, that concludes lesson 21 of my PySimpleGUI course. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And remember, from novice to pro, work for tuition helps you grow.